So if you caught the last video on this qh12r, you'll notice I was having a hard time controlling that blade because the control is right in between your drives. So if you want to lift that as you're going forward, there's no easy way to do that. Now, this here would be for a hydraulic thumb or an attachment, and we're going to swap these two sets of lines out so I can have one hand over here driving and one hand here controlling the blade. Also, this would make more sense because if I was going to grab something, I'd be stopped anyway, and I'd be free to mess with that. So you got to take this front cover off. You got 4 12s on the back. Then you got some 5/16 cell tappers holding these rubbers on, and there's little Phillips head screws at the front of each handle. Take those off. It kind of lifts up and out. It's a bit of a pain, especially if you have the canopy on it. You're going to find the valves you want to swap. So we've got this guy and this guy, and the hoses are a different size. So you've got to get it 1 1/16 inch, or I'll put here whatever the metric size is, and take these off. And they look like that. So go ahead and swap those out, reroute your hoses, and hopefully this should line up and work. Well, let's see how many leaks we get, huh? This guy shouldn't do anything, right? That kills the motor. And this one, all right. Cool. And do we have any leaks? We look pretty good. So not too difficult. There's enough hose to move that around without everything pinching. So if you wanted to change these controls all around to make it how you want it to be, you can do that. You could do the same thing and swap them back and forth and make it the way you want. Like if you want the dump bucket to be up and down instead of left and right, you could do that with it. Also, if you're having jumpy controls out of these, this guy here is kind of a main pressure relief valve. Loosen that up and you can move this in and out. What I did was I just kind of left this off and just played around with it and adjusted on it until I got kind of happy with it so it wasn't as jerky. It's a lot easier to move. So now I can drive forward with one hand and use the other hand to adjust my blade.